Hello everybody. I was driving, and as I was driving, I hope I can do this. I just got back from my favorite store, you guys, Whole Foods, and I went to some pizza. I'm a vegan, but so this is what the kind I get. I got Daya, and I also got my favorite. Guys, Whole Foods is awesome. Kind bar. I really don't like the amount of sugar in this, but it's pretty good. Hi everybody. Anybody there? Anybody? Hi guys. So anyways, the narcissism that loves to take compliments but won't rarely or barely, if ever, give you one. I have a minty. Gosh, like the lighting is horrible, you guys. I had to run an errand, so I stopped at Dunkin' Donuts to get a green tea, and have my ice, and you guys know I love my tea. And I got my tea, no sugar, you guys. Try to stay away from sugar. I'll do a video about that. I am a health minister, but I always get a little bit of ice so I can like kind of cool it down. I'm about to go, you guys. Here we go. Let me just pour it so I can. Oops. Okay, so here we go. So the narcissism, they love to take compliments. They love it. I mean, they actually feed off of it. They breed off of it, and they so enjoy compliments. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that they have to feel as though they like to feed off of anything that makes them feel as though they're an achiever or that they're well accomplished. My experience with a narcissist was really shocking to me, because that particular narcissist didn't have much. But even in his own sick mind, he felt as though he was an overachiever. And he ate, slept, and thought and breathed that he was going to be great. That's all he would say to me over and over again. I'm going to do great things. I'm going to do great things. And as I think back on it, I mean, the man was so illusioned about his greatness that he literally began to lie on other people to keep feeding the mold in his mind that he had to have fed again and again and again. So you will find that narcissists will tend to give you very little compliments, if any. I hope you guys can hear me. It's like very loud. They'll tend to give you little, if any, compliments, as long as they're getting them from you. And what happens is that a lot of times when you're giving these compliments to these narcissists, they're feeding off of them. And they're actually using these compliments to keep feeding that sickness that's in their mind. It's a very rocky road dealing with someone that is sick like that. It's a number 5 in the DSM. And if you're dealing with one, or you're in a relationship with one, I just need to tell you to be very careful, because they are willing to even go through the legal realms to try to discredit you. They'll either try to put a diagnosis on you, or they'll try to put they'll give you a case if they have to. They are not willing. They must succeed by any means possible. They must succeed, even if that means destroying you to get where they're trying to go. As long as they feel as though they're succeeding, it just doesn't really matter to them. In fact, you probably don't even matter to them, because the most important thing that a narcissist needs is to be able to feed. I mean, it's kind of like a vampire. You know how the vampires, they feed on blood, and you know they only come out at night, and they have a whole system of doing things. Well, narcissists are like that as well. If you're dating a narcissist, you're in for one heck of a journey. Because you'll be guilty of everything. Everything that goes wrong in this person's life is your fault. Nothing that is going on in that, they'll never take ownership for anything that they've done wrong, or any of the shortcomings that are happening in their life, because they need somebody to blame those things on. If they don't have someone to blame them on, they feel as though, oh my God, could I be it could never be me. I mean, this is really sickening. And you have to remember, these people may not even have hearts that match yours, if they have any hearts. I mean, I read once a guy said, I wish we could just put them all on an island somewhere by themselves, you know. But honestly, narcissists are very dangerous minded people. Their mind, it goes in and out of normalcy. I mean, they're people that could literally turn into sociopaths. And if they do, sociopaths will kill you. So you have to be very careful if you're dealing with one. It is always best that if you have a narcissist in your life, to also make sure that someone else knows or is aware that this person is a narcissist, and give them information about what a narcissist traits are, because it's really hard for people to understand and decipher what this mindset is. It's a very sick mindset. There's some girls, I could say probably about all out of my mentees right now, I must have about 3 or 4 who are dating or married to narcissists. One is so cocky that he literally has put in his live-in lover into the house, brought her in. I mean, and then there's into this woman's house. Another one so cocky that he calls the police. I mean, your loyalty is like nothing to them. They know nothing about loyalty. They're self-loyals. I mean, maybe they could date another narcissist, but I don't know. They probably would rate themselves and just totally, disappear within each other. Actually, the narcissist that I used to date, he actually lived alone for many years. I mean, nobody would get close to him. People used to tell him that he was an elitist, and he lived alone by himself for so many years. When I met him, when I seen him again after so many years, he had a big old beard, and his hair was all wild and crazy on his head, because he lived like a recluse, and the only people that he could really get along with or communicate with are other people whose minds were kind of confused. So he really didn't have a healthy balance of a healthy mind to help probably try to extinguish some of that sickness. And I think his best friend was his sister, and I think she was equally as sick. Unfortunately, she was actually a human service worker, and we knew that something had to be wrong if she wasn't able to diagnose him. I had him diagnosed over the phone and over recorded conversations. And when it gets that bad where you can see somebody is carrying this sickness and they stand to put your life in jeopardy, it's time to go. Because it's them or you. They're going to do whatever they have to do to make people think that you're one of the most horrible people in the world. I mean, they'll try to tell, even your personal, intimate business, they'll tell it, just so as long as it can make them look like they're a victim of sorts. And you're the reason why they haven't achieved anything, and you've deposited this, and you've taken this out, and you've done anything. I can't understand. And this narcissist that I was dating, he used to try to call my mother and be like, I don't know what's wrong. My mother would be like sitting there listening to him like, but what has she done? Again and again, my mother would ask, what is she doing? And the narcissist really won't get along with you, especially if you're intelligent. And I know I got nothing but leaders that listen to me. I mean, if you're a leader and you're really intelligent and they can't trap your mind, oh, that really irks them. If they can't trap your mind, oh Lord, then you're like public enemy number 1 because you're too intelligent, ladies and gentlemen. But they're seeking you. They seek the intelligent ones. The reason why they come after the intelligent women and men is because they feel as though they can only be around the elite. So, of course, once they get you, they'll find you and see you as an elite. But if you're not careful, they can tear you down to the point where you think you're crazy. So you have to be very careful. They are not to be played with. They are to be played. And I'm about to tell you how to play them. I'm going to tell you how you do it. Are you going to listen to me? If I tell you how to do it, are you going to do it? All right. If you're going to do it, I want some hearts. Okay? When I come back to see who has done it. This is what you do to your narcissist, okay? You give the narcissist your attention. You let him agree. You agree with all his foolishness. Let him scramble up his thoughts and tell you all his scrambled thoughts, because you need to know the mindset. So once you listen, and when you hang up, I know you're probably like, I'm going to vomit in my mouth. He's crazy. So you go ahead. You agree with all these crazy thoughts and similes that he has, and try your best to agree. And then finally, he'll get to the point where he feels as though he can trust you. And then when he or she feels that she can trust you, they'll let it be known what it is they want or what it is they need. And you're going to be sitting there like, there it is. So once you find out what it is, you schedule and arrange and have this person thinking that all these things are going to come into fruition. But meanwhile, you've been secretly detaching from them because you know they're crazy. So when the day comes that this all is supposed to be happening, you make sure you have everything in place to exit. I mean, change your name if you have to. Pick up, leave the country, preferably overseas, like 2 seas over. And you get to where you got to go. And then when he calls you, waiting for the whole thing to come into culmination, your phone number will be changed. And that is how you get and conquer a narcissist, okay? And it is better for them because they're only going to go on to the next person. They probably won't even remember you by the time they get their trumps into the next victim. But at least you know you always have a little chuckle. I always like to make you guys chuckle about them. Why? Because it's very serious and painful for people that are going through. So if you know somebody that's going through this, please feel free to share it. I'm sorry the traffic and things, but I just wanted to send you guys some love. I thank you guys for rocking with me. Thanks for trying to join my journey here. It's been a little bit rocky. I must admit, I am still recovering from a narcissist as well. So that is why I have a lot of this top-notch information. I'm going to actually write a book about it. I am a writer in addition to doing a plethora of other things. So, and I'm going to be opening up the commenting section. If you just give me hearts, I'll frame you back. I am not a very, I'm social. I mean, I am a speaker. I am a health minister. But I am not like a media whore. I'm not into that. Why? Because I am just here to service. And that is the main important thing to me, that you guys are receiving something out of it. But if you'd like to send a heart so that I can know that you're interested, I'll go right ahead and add you back. Otherwise, I love you. You guys love me. I need your love, okay? Because you know what? If you're dealing with a narcissist, you're running low on that, okay? Bye, guys.